Why does a golden hamster still hurry to hide food, even when every meal arrives safely in the same bowl? Because safety in your room does not erase the survival math carried inside this tiny desert-born body. The golden hamster you see is small, honey-gold, cream-bellied, black-eyed, and already thinking several meals ahead. When pellets hit the bowl, it often grabs them fast, as though abundance might vanish between one breath and the next. To us, that can look unnecessary, almost suspicious, as if the hamster does not trust its safe home. But hoarding is not an insult to comfort. It is an ancient answer to uncertainty. Wild ancestors lived where seeds appeared in patches, seasons changed hard, and tomorrow's food was never guaranteed. In that world, finding extra food did not mean relax. It meant carry, store, and protect. A full belly solved tonight, but a hidden cache could solve a cold, empty, dangerous tomorrow. That old logic still lives inside the Syrian hamster, even when the modern version sleeps beside your desk. Domestication changed many things, but it did not delete the instinct to secure food before comfort turns uncertain. So even inside glass walls, the hamster behaves like a tiny planner, living in a world with gaps. Notice the cheeks first, because those pouches are not decoration. They are transport bags built by evolution. The hamster stuffs food there quickly, then rushes away, not to eat immediately, but to move treasure underground. In nature, carrying food home lowers exposure, because chewing in the open can waste time and invite danger. In a pet enclosure, the danger is gone, but the behavioral sequence remains beautifully and stubbornly intact. Bowl, cheeks, dash, tunnel, stash. The body can perform that chain almost before thought seems to begin. This is why a well-fed hamster may still look urgent the moment fresh food appears. Urgency here does not prove hunger. It often proves the sudden appearance of something worth securing. For a hoarding animal, extra food is not just food. It is future control made visible. Hidden stores let the hamster separate having enough now from having enough saved for later. That distinction matters deeply to a species shaped by scattered resources and shifting conditions outside. Even when your home feels stable, the hamster's nervous system still respects the possibility of interruption. A loud sound, a changed scent, or simple excitement can be enough to trigger faster storing. Hoarding can also feel soothing because it turns a sudden event into an organized personal routine. The hamster is not merely removing food, it is arranging certainty with its own paws. That is why many golden hamsters prefer tucking food into one chosen chamber rather than leaving it visible. A cache hidden near bedding feels private, controllable, and protected by familiar smells to them. Familiar scent matters, because a hamster's world is built through smell as much as sight. Food placed inside the nest zone starts belonging to the hamster's known map of safety. The bowl may be safe by our standards, yet the stash feels safer by hamster standards. That difference is subtle, but it explains a great deal about repeated food hiding behavior. Another reason is risk spreading. Because one pile in one place is still only one pile. Many hamsters create several little stores, almost like tiny insurance policies tucked across the enclosure. If one spot is disturbed, another spot may still remain available when the hamster needs reassurance. This behavior looks strategic because, in biological terms, it really is a strategy for survival. The golden hamster is not counting tomorrow's calories, but its body acts as though tomorrow matters. And that body tends to trust stored food more than exposed abundance sitting in the open. Exposed abundance can change quickly. Stored abundance feels claimed, protected, and ready when needed later. So the stash becomes more than a pantry. It becomes emotional insurance against uncertainty later. This is also why hiding can continue even after the hamster has already hidden plenty. Enough is hard to define for an animal whose instincts prefer a margin of safety. A margin means food beyond the meal, beyond the night, and beyond one unexpected problem. That mindset can make a safe enclosure feel secure, but never fully finished to the hamster. There is always one more seed that could make the future slightly easier to survive. Owners sometimes read this as greed, but greed is the wrong emotional category here. A hamster does not hoard to dominate. It hoards to reduce uncertainty inside life. Even with daily feeding, the behavior can remain strong because reliable patterns still activate old circuits. In fact, predictability may strengthen storing because the hamster learns exactly when valuable food will appear. When the sound of the bowl arrives, the body prepares for transport before chewing begins. Routine sharpens hoarding until it can look almost ceremonial, the same path repeated with impressive precision. The hamster may leave the bowl, cross the sand, slip underground, and unload in nearly the same place. Repetition makes the act feel less like panic and more like practiced security behavior. This matters because a calm hamster can hoard just as readily as a worried one. Hoarding alone is not a sign that something is wrong in the enclosure today. The better question is how the hamster looks while hiding. Smooth, focused, tense, or frantic. A healthy hoarder usually moves with purpose, then settles normally once the storing round is done. A distressed hamster looks different, showing agitation, repeated startling, or restless pacing without real settling. So hiding food is normal, but the emotional tone around it tells the deeper, real story. Golden hamsters are especially famous for this because they are solitary keepers of private supplies. A solitary animal cannot rely on a group pantry, so personal storage matters more deeply. The hidden cache is part of the hamster's independent style, not just its appetite alone. That independence is one reason the stash chamber often feels almost sacred to them inside. Food there has been chosen, carried, and placed by the hamster's own decisions carefully. That sense of authorship can make moved food seem less satisfying than self-stored food sometimes. In other words, the hamster is not only saving food, it is making the food belong. This is why some hamsters hide pieces, then return later to eat calmly in privacy. Privacy matters to prey animals because private eating feels safer than exposed eating outside. So the hidden pile supports both future planning and present emotional comfort at once there. When owners understand this, the behavior stops looking paranoid and starts looking beautifully logical instead. Your golden hamster is not rejecting safety. It is extending safety into the future for itself. The stash says, in animal language, I trust what I can carry home myself best. And because instinct and comfort can live together, a pampered hamster may still hoard with total sincerity. The kindest response is not stopping the behavior, but giving it safe ways to happen. Deep bedding, hideouts, and dry food suited for storing. Let the hamster express this instinct well. So when your golden hamster hides food in a safe home, it is building tomorrow out of tiny certainties.